Thank you, Lorraine. It's a good problem here. Que Dios los bendiga. Muchísimas gracias por este honor. No saben el gusto que tengo estar aquí con todos ustedes. Es un honor y un placer, de veras. Para todos ustedes que me están entendiendo ahorita, por favor, levanten la mano con orgullo. For those of you that are Spanish impaired, good luck. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be here at this time of my life and at this time in the life of this university. It is truly a gift, what you're giving us. The struggle that you portrayed in the last few years and the struggle that you begin tomorrow really is the epitome of what this day is all about. And I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I must say that the invitation here, I'm so grateful. President Bollinger, it's extraordinary. Provost Cantor, I'm overwhelmed. I'm always humbled by the invitation to go speak anywhere. For many of us, they say, well, Ed, but you're an actor, you've done so much with your life. I'm sorry, but I'm a kid from East LA, corner of First and Indiana, okay? And literally, I gotta tell you right now, I was not born to do this, okay? I learned to do this. I learned how to stand up here and try to do this, and try to share my experiences with you before you fall asleep. It's so important for me to understand, what it is that brought me here and why I've been chosen to be here. Because basically, my God, it's humbling. It's so humbling. Where I was born and raised, I feel like I was talking this morning. I've talked a lot in the last few hours. Well, I've been here for like 15, 16 hours. And in those 15 or 16 hours, I have to tell you, I must have spoken at least 7. Seriously, and then I had like 7 hours of sleep, a little bit less than that really, because we spoke until 12 midnight last night. And I mean, they literally had to tell me, I think you should go to sleep now, Mr. Olmos. Oh yes, that's right. But for me, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. I mean, at night, not 12 o'clock at night. My body clock was completely turned around, totally. And I just got done. If you notice my face carefully, it's gone down a little bit thanks to modern medicine, but I had a severe dental surgery attack on my mouth Friday in the afternoon. And if you notice, I'm a little puffy. Hey, also living a good life. But I say to you, as we celebrate today, this is to me, it's the holiday of holidays for me, okay? It's the remembrance of remembrances for me in this country. This is the most important day to celebrate a person's existence in this country's history. Why, you say, should this be any more important than anyone else's national heroic deeds that have given them a day to be celebrated? Well, I say this to you because today is a day when we actually bring to light, again, in our commitment, in our renewal, which are great, great words to understand and to commit to the belief of a movement that encompassed many people, that was really spoken so clearly by one of the great orators of all time, and that's Martin Luther King. Dr. King gave to us, in his manner of being and his manner of speaking a profound understanding of ourselves, whether you be black, white, brown, yellow, or red. Because that is truly what his gift was to communicate. And when I saw him communicate, because I was really lucky that I got to see him communicate and really speak. And I remember sitting in front of the television as he gave his speech that literally rocked the world. That rocked the world in a manner that gave it so much soul. And that's really what he gave us. He gave us soul. And that soul touched everyone. Even if you didn't like him, you had to stop and say for a second, well, the guy is speaking a truth that must be understood. Many people did not like him, and they showed his dislike for him by ending his life early. And many people celebrated that day. But many more of us in this country and around the world were much more moved by the fact that he had lived and the way that he had lived. And so when he was taken from us so young, it hurt. And I still weep today for people like him and people that gave their lives for the betterment of all of us. And they gave it without even caring, because, I mean, he knew every day. He said it many times, as I have said it now many times, because I understand the road that he took. I don't consider myself to be in levels with Dr. King or Gandhi or Cesar Chavez or Mother Teresa, or better yet, Jesus. But I can listen and I can learn, and I can use everything that was meant to be understood by them, and I can use it for the betterment of my life and the life of my children, and then pass it on. I can do that. And therefore giving me a balance and an understanding that allows me to stand up here in front of you and say today is a great day to be alive, to celebrate in the 21st century, one of the greatest lives that ever lived in the United States of America, if not in the world. And I say it with a lot of compassion and passion, and sometimes I get emotional, and I'm an actor. Should have invited me if you didn't want emotion up here. You know, if you wanted someone to stand behind that, you picked the wrong person. I can't do that. I can't do that because time is too short for me, and I don't know how to do this anywhere else than to wake you up and say to you, this is a great day, man. This is the day where we commit ourselves to understanding why we're here and to celebrate. Do you know that in this country, in 400 years, in the history of this country, I speak to you very clearly and very directly, and I say to you, son, he's the only person of color that has ever been given the right to be called a national hero in this country. Ever, ever, ever. What does that mean? What does that mean to every single person, especially the children in here? Especially the children in here who are tired. Who are so tired that they're just head heavy. It's as if they don't think I understand what they're feeling. You know, I'm an actor. I've been acting for almost 32 years. Okay, I understand what this means. I understand what this means. I understand what this means. And I understand what this means. Con la baba cayéndose de la boca. For those of you that are Spanish impaired, Que chinga, no? How does it feel in an English-only country? So I say to you, I'll show you, as tired as you are, as much as you want to just hold on to your senses and say, I'm not going to be moved by anything that happens today. I don't care. I really don't care. They made me come here. I'm going to say to you right now, and I'm going to show you real quickly, real fast, something that will blow your mind. How many PhDs do we have in the room? Please raise your hand. Be proud that you have one. Woo! Whoa! Doctors, please stand up very quickly. I need to see you very quickly. Please, all doctors, if you're a PhD or if you're a doctor of medicine, any kind of a educational doctor, you name it, please stand. I want everybody in the room to look at these people, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Please stay standing. Stay standing. Stay standing for just a second. I got to take a count, all right? Because this is the most, I'm not kidding, I've spoken at Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Columbia, MIT. I've spoken at the finest, Stanford. I've spoken at the finest universities in the world. This is the most PhDs that I've ever spoken in front of in my life. Okay? 5, 7. Okay, I'm going to say that there are at least 100 PhDs standing in this room right now. I'm very impressed. Now you can sit down. I want you to, now how many master's degrees do we have in here? Please stand up. Masters, stand up. Woo! Thank you. There are at least 400, okay? Yes! Okay, you graduates. All of those of you that are in college and ready to graduate or on your way to graduating with your bachelor's degree, please stand. Thank you. All of you that are in high school, please stand right now. High school students, yeah! All of you that are in high school that plan to graduate and go on to college, stand up. All of you that are in junior high and grammar school, stand up. Well, do we have intellect in this room or what? So all of you people, now that you know that most of us are in school or going to school or really are trying very hard, for all the community people that are in here that are sitting here today that came from the community, that either brought someone or came on their own just to be part and understand this moment for whatever reason, either to see Edward James Olmos, the actor from Blade Runner or any of the other ones that I've done, or came because you have a vested interest in understanding this day. Whatever your reason for being here from the community, I say thank you to you. But now, as I said before, I wanted to really make an understanding that would rock your brain as to why this day is so important. And I said it, but I want to show it to you. I said that this day is important because of one really basic reason, that we're celebrating the life of a human being who happened to be a person of color, who happens to be now a national hero and celebrated in the national way. What does that mean? That means that every single school in the United States of America, whether private or public, has a day of remembrance that we take and we study a little bit about this person that this day is about. George Washington has a day. Abraham Lincoln has a day. You know, we have days that belong to all the President's Day. We have the Labor Day that I hope someday might be given to the name Cesar Chavez. You know, that'd be a great way to give that man a day. For you see, with 100 PhDs in here and 500 to 600 masters in here and literally over 1,000 collegiate graduates soon to be in their lifetime, and high school students and junior high and grammar school students. With all this, I'm going to ask you one question, and I want to see if you know the answer. All you have to do is raise your hand. You don't even have to stand up again. Just raise your hand if you know the answer to this question. And I don't say this question to make you feel less than you are or to make this school feel that it's got a long way to go. But the question is merely, and of course, any one of you can answer also. You're all invited. Anyone in the room, standing in the back. If you're standing in the back and you know the answer, just raise your hand and I'll see you. I can see everyone. I can see exactly how you're doing. He caught me. He saw me. Yes, I see you. I can see you like you can see me. So I asked this question. I want you to name me. And remember what we're talking about. We're talking about Martin Luther King. We're talking about his day. This is his day and why it's so special. And that day is this, son. That day is this. The question is this. Watch this. There are 100, listen to me. There are 100 doctors in here, son. 100 PhDs, okay? And there are over 400 master's degrees in here. And there are thousands of kids in here that are in college right now. And some of you are in high school and some of you are going to go on to college. And I'm going to ask this question to show us what condition the state of the United States of America is in at this present time, the year 2001. The question is this. I want you to name me one national hero that you have studied any time in your life, male or female, born in the United States of America, of Asian ancestry. When you have the answer, just raise your hand. 100. Oh, we have one hand. Quickly it came up, and she happens to be Asian. She has a lot of courage. You need courage. I have two. I have a hand up on top. Are you a PhD up there? You are. My goodness. Are you a PhD? You're not. My goodness. Oh, we have 3, 4, 5. We got courage coming up. Remember the question. Name me one national American hero born in the United States of America, male or female, that you have studied any time in your life, any time in the United States of America, of Asian ancestry. I'll open it up a little bit. Give me one of Latino ancestry. Or give me one of indigenous ancestry. Ooh, more hands go up and more hands go up. Okay, we'll start with the Asians. You guys didn't raise your hands. Lorraine goes, not me. I don't know any of them. Interesting. President Bollinger doesn't know any of them. There are 100 PhDs in here and only one raised their hand with the Asian question. And then 4 or 5 joined after they thought about it for a little while and they got a little courage. You need courage to answer this question in this country. Isn't that interesting that you need courage to raise your hand when a simple question of asking you to name me one national hero that was born in the United States of America, male or female, that you've studied of Asian ancestry? It takes courage. Wow. And then you wonder what we're doing here? Are you kidding me? You want to celebrate something, you celebrate the fact that Martin Luther King lived and the fact that he was given the opportunity to become the person that he became and that he became a national hero. Because I'm going to show you what I mean right now. To our student right here, name me one national hero born in the United States of America, male or female, that you have studied any time in your life of Asian ancestry. Go ahead. Grace Lee. B-O-G-G-S, Boggs. National hero? I don't think so. I don't think so, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Now, this person may deserve it more than George Washington, but it ain't gonna happen in the United States of America. No, it's not gonna happen in the United States of America. That's the issue. Don't you get it? The issue is there are no national heroes of color other than Martin Luther King, period, in the United States of America. Kind of harsh? You don't have to clap. A little bit too harsh? Am I too emotional? Am I like over-exaggerating the condition of a state of our union? I don't think so. Because a national hero, let's define the national hero. It's a person who you study from the 1st grade through the 12th grade mandatorily. Mandatorily, you study who they were, where they lived, where they came from, what they did to deserve the credit. It's as if Asians had nothing to do with the United States of America. Even the indigenous people don't give Asians any credit for where they come from. That's the state of our union. Today, right now in the year 2001, right here, this whole community is ill-prepared for the future because people of color made this country what it is. Period. Period. You talk about emotion. You talk about Martin Luther King. You talk about understanding the equivalent of what it is to be human. Are you kidding me? In this country, I gotta take this out of here. I need space. I'm very, very moved right now. I'm so moved. I am going to say to you, please back up just a little bit. It gets dangerous up here. Why does it get dangerous? Because we still think that Jesus Christ has blonde hair and blue eyes. That's what's the problem. That's the problem. Come here, Lee. Come here, Lee. Lee, stand right here. Stand right there. Lester, come on up here. Come on up, Lester. Thank you for doing this. Thank you. This is so much fun. Stand right here. Okay, leave a little bit more this way. Now tell me, how did we get so turned around? Why have we become so obsessed with race? Why have we made race a cultural determinant to how to describe ourselves when there is no such word as race? If you're going to use the word race, then you best use it correctly. There is no Latino race. There is no Asian race. There is no African race. There is no indigenous race. There is no Caucasian race. There are none. Those are cultures inside of the human race. There's but one race, and that is the human race. Period. Period. Some of you say, oh, well, this is too much. This is too much. I mean, you know, we all know that. Then use it. I dare you to try to live one day without using the word race as a cultural determinant. I dare you. You can't do it, because for the last 600 years, they have wanted us, we have wanted ourselves to use race so we could kill one another easier. It's easier to kill someone of another race than it is to kill someone of your own race. That's why they brought the word and used it this way. And that's why Jesus has been made Caucasian. Even though Jesus was born 2,000 years ago in the Mediterranean. Excuse me, Lester, where's the Mediterranean?
The Middle East.
I think it's in the Middle East, he says. I think it's in northern part of Africa, to be honest with you. Now, I don't pose to make this a racial issue. No, it's not about human beings. It's about culture, and it's about who we are and what we've done to ourselves. Don't you see that by making Jesus, whether you believe he is the Son of God, or whether you believe he is a prophet, or whether you believe he's just a person who lived, who caused such a ruckus that 2,000 years ago we're still talking about him. I mean, forget it, you know. This is a person who caused a lot of something, enough so that everybody still says his name, you know. And I say to all of us, whether you believe he's the Son of God or not, that is not the issue. The issue is the fact that the guy was a Jew. Jew. Christians, when you get to heaven, you're not going to find a Christian at the gate. You're going to find a Jew going, hi. I mean, what a shock. You talk about shocks of shocks. And the reason I put these two images up here is because these images mean a lot. These mean a lot. These images influence you. And I have to ask Lee to sit down, because he does not really look like he comes from the Mediterranean. Thank you, Lee. Lester, I need you to do this. Stand right here in the center now. Put your arms like this, and like this. Put your head over to one side, down a little bit. Stay right like that, Lester. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesus Christ. You can put your arms down, but don't move your head, because basically this becomes very difficult to do after about 35 to 40 seconds. You don't think it is. Well, you try it. You can hold it for about a minute or two at the most, but then all of a sudden your arms start to get real heavy and you go, wow, what the heck's going on here? It's called gravity, okay? I say this to you as you walk out, and I know many people of Caucasian persuasion right now are feeling uncomfortable because they're feeling that maybe this is going a little bit too one way. Nah. Thank you. I've been invited 3 times to Brigham Young University. The first time I cleared half of the audience. I'm not kidding you. Half of the audience went out the window. They left. They started leaving. Oh, it's time. I think it's time. And I say to myself, and I say to you, by the second time I say, what did you invite me back for? But the second time, nobody left. And more people came. The third time, more people came and nobody left. And I'm really proud to be able to say that, because I think a lot came out of that and a lot of understanding. And the reason I've left Lester here and you watching him over the last minute and a half, and I say thank you very much to Lester. Thank you for portraying Jesus. All right, you sit down. The reason I did this is because images are so impactful on the subconscious and the conscious mind. And it is the reason why we're in the shape that we're in. It means a lot to these children to see Jesus as a person of color. It means a whole lot, okay? A whole lot. It means For instance, can you imagine, people seeing Lester standing here as a person of color for a minute, minute and a half? Do you know that I have seen for 53 years Jesus portrayed as a person of Caucasian persuasion? 53 years. Only to tell myself, what is wrong with this picture? Why are we doing this to ourselves? And people say, well, you can portray Jesus any way you want to. I mean, this is a person that, everybody has their own ideals of religion and their own ideals of Christianity and their own ideals of values, and anybody can do anything. Excuse me, time out. This guy lived in the Mediterranean, okay, not in, Sweden. If he was from Sweden, I dare you to make him black. Ha ha ha, please, Eddie. Well, I dare you to make him white after you've been through this experience. I dare you, because you cannot really understand what you've done to everyone by making him your color. So Caucasian people, understand, you've made him your color. And you've denied the children of color the ability to see themselves and the contributions that people of color have done for this planet. Very important. I mean, I firmly believe that a child of Caucasian persuasion would look at a person of color and say, and if it was Jesus, they'd say, hey, that's Jesus. Looks just like Lester. Children of color would say, that's Jesus. Looks just like me. Wow. Self-esteem, self-respect, self-worth is the name of the game. When you have this, you don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want to hurt yourself. Those children don't want to go out and be gangbangers. Those children don't want to go out. When you have self-esteem, self-respect, and self-worth, you don't want to hurt anyone. You don't want to hurt yourself. Not even a little bit. How do you get self-esteem, self-respect, and self-worth? People say, well, it starts at the home. It's all about the house, Eddie. It's all about the home. I'm sorry, okay? I'm really sorry, but please understand it for what it is. Excuse me? Whatever happened to the understanding that it takes a entire village to raise a child? What happened? What happened? Where did we go wrong with our own understanding of ourselves? We went wrong because we allowed ourselves to let race be the issue. And let race become really the focal point. Everything has to do with race. And I'm here to tell you, I'm your worst nightmare, because I am puro Chicano, 100%. And I gotta tell you, I think Martin Luther King would have been proud of this Chicano. Just like he was proud of all people who would stand up and just speak from the heart and say to everyone, please understand yourselves. If you're having trouble right now sitting here in this room, if you feel a little uncomfortable, please understand yourself. The truths I speak are self-evident. And they're not made to make you feel less than who you are. They're made to make you feel all that you are, human, and to celebrate the humanity that sits right next to you and that makes this country the greatest country in the world. Why? We all know. Every single language of the planet is spoken here by U.S. citizens, and all the cultures of the world are represented in this country by U.S. citizens. So we all are this great test, and we've passed it. We're not flunking, we're making it happen. That's the beauty of today, 2001. But as a Chicano, okay? What is a Chicano? A Chicano, how many Chicanos in the room? Raise your hand, be proud. Ooh, Chicanitas. Man, there's more Chicanos here than have ever been here, ever. I bet this is the most Chicano since, well, I think Cesar Chavez spoke here in 1991. I'm so grateful to be the second African-American, quote unquote, to speak at the Martin Luther King celebration in the history of this school. First one was Cesar Chavez, and now me 10 years later. And I say to you, to be Chicano, you have to be born in the United States of America of Mexican ancestry. It's the only way you can be a Chicano. And it's tough being Mexican American, huh? You know how tough it is? You gotta be more Mexican than the Mexican. You gotta be more American than the American. You gotta be able to speak Spanish better than the Mexicans, and you gotta be able to speak English better than the Americans. You gotta be able to eat American food, which is way too bland. Yet when you eat Mexican food, you get the runs. Ouch. It's tough being Mexican American. For those of you that saw Selena, you know how tough it is to be Mexican American. What is a Mexican? A Mexican is a person who's split right down the middle. Half European and half indigenous. There is no way of having a Mexican without that combination, everybody. So when you look at me, you remember my indigenousness that has been here for 40,000 years. And then you remember my Europeanness, which has been inside of me for 500 years. And you remember what I am. I am Olmos, Hungarian Jew. How do you like that one? All the Mexicans in the room are going, I thought that guy was Mexican, man. What happened? How did we get him? How did he become like a Hungarian Jew? I don't know. It kind of like snuck up on me. I just heard him say it. I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about it. The reason being is that I didn't know I was Hungarian Jew till 21 years ago. When I'm walking through, going to the restroom again, I'm regular. I'm going to the restroom, and a wise man, I hear this voice say to me, as I walk by him, about 82, 83 years old, he says to me, "You're Edward James Olmos." And I'm saying, "Oh, yes, sir, I sure am. How are you? It's a pleasure. It's a real pleasure. I'll be right back. I have to go to the restroom. I'll be right back." He goes, "You are Olmos." I said, "Yes, I'm Olmos. Soy Mexicano." He goes, and he stops cold, and he says, "No, you're Hungarian, and you're Jewish." I said, "I am?" Shit. Whoa. I said, freaked me out, man, because this guy was serious. And this is wisdom looking at you right in the face. This is 21 years ago, man, and I'm like, yes, I think you're telling me the truth. Can you explain? I forgot about the bathroom. I forgot about everything. At that moment, I stood there and I said, "Tell me more about myself." He says, "Your name means he who works with lead in Hungarian, Olmos. And you are of the Jewish religion. You became Marranos in the 16th century due to the persecution, and your name went to Spain." Wow. Man, this is like in the middle of it. This is what I mean. All of a sudden, it just comes rushing in. A reality hits you and you face it. My European bloods go back to Hungary, and they're Jewish. And they came across here and impregnated my indigenousness who had been here for 40,000 years. So I am European and I am indigenous, and I'm proud of both of them. Many Latinos in this room, especially Mexicanos, don't like their Europeanness. They don't like it because it was a conquest, it was not a love fest. If it had been this, can you imagine if this had been the way Cortez and the gang had thought it through? Can you imagine this? Querida. Amor de mi vida. Alma de mi corazón. Tú eres el cielo. Tú eres mi luna. Tú eres mis estrellas. Can you imagine what state we would be in today if that had happened? Not what happened. Take the first row here. Put them up here. And chop off their legs. If they don't want to tell you where the gold is, chop off their neck. Put all the old people and all the children, babies, over on this side, kill them. And then put all the young people over here. Where's the priest? Priest, to the gold. That's what happened. Era la chingada. It was not a love fest, it was a conquest, and it destroyed the very fiber of this Western Hemisphere. But Eddie, it was something that had to happen so that we could understand the joy of what has become of this Western Hemisphere. What has become of this Western Hemisphere? The United States has become a first world, the rest of the hemisphere has become a third world. What's so great about that? Who caused the third world? We did. The first world causes a third world to be. Who causes Canada and the United States to feel so good? Caucasian people. Or so they tell us, even though the workload in the workforce is majority people of color. And through the process of immigration throughout the centuries, we've had large immigrations of people of European persuasion coming here and doing their best. But what happened to the 26 million indigenous people that were here before they got here? They have been decimated and they have been destroyed. There's less than 1 million left in the United States of America. And then we wonder why we're in the shape we're in. Hello? Martin Luther King, you deserve this day. People say, well, hey, Eddie, remember I asked about indigenous people? People say, well, you can't have just, the reason that George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, these people have a day is because they were the fathers of our country. Well, what was Geronimo? Oh, Geronimo was a warrior. He was a killer. He just defiled people and bloodthirst and savagely scalped them. Are you kidding? You know who started the scalping? Okay. Not the indigenous. They followed suit. No, this is a very special day because Jesus is a person of color. And it's been resounded through the halls and the walls of Michigan. And to understand that God is a woman. How about that one? Right about now, every male in the audience is going, okay, it's time to get out of this joint, man. This guy, he took me a little bit too far now. He went a little bit too far. Women, God, I don't think so. Oh, really? Oh, really? What part of that offends you? What part of that, of your teachings, does not allow you to grasp hold that we don't know whether it's male or female? And people say, oh, but excuse me, Eddie, that's exactly right. God is a supreme being who is neither male or female. It is, encompasses all, everything. Then why do we say God the Father who art in heaven? Why do we continue to motivate the usage of the male understanding of a God? Because it's definitely thrown us off balance a whole lot. And balance is the key. Balance is the key to your life. It's the key to everyone's life. Your life is balanced on the fact that you understand that women are equal to men. Period. With that understanding right there, you can walk through life feeling so good When you look at a person and you do not judge them by the color of your skin or by their gender, whether they be male or female. I say this not to arouse anybody and make them stand up and leave. I say this to really make us understand what we do to ourselves and the images that we create and the celebration that we should be having by celebrating the life of a person of color in the United States of America. It means a lot. And these celebrations are truly a gift. And this day is a gift. Martin Luther King gave us the right to stand up and speak our mind in a way that had never been seen before in this country. And that man could really mesmerize you. He could stand there and his voice would just have the unbelievable passion. And his voice would quiver and he would feel every moment as a Baptist preacher should. I was raised Baptist. I said it today. He goes, Baptist? You're Baptist. You're Chicano. You're Latino. You should be Catholic. Excuse me? You ain't been to hell until you hear the Reverend Baptist ministers speak in Spanish. Dios está aquí con nosotros, pero el diablo está aquí también. As a little kid of 3 or 4, I'm like this. Where is he? Where is that guy? Scare the hell out of you, man. That was the whole idea. The whole idea was to scare the hell out of you. And they did a damn good job. And so, I mean, my mother was so good. My mother is the reason why I am the way I am. I was very fortunate. I was very fortunate because I was raised in a house, and I said it today, I was raised in a house where my great-grandparents, my grandparents, my parents, and the siblings, all my siblings, lived under the same roof. That's wisdom upon wisdom upon wisdom. Wisdom of the parent, wisdom of the grandparent, wisdom of the great-grandparent. You can't beat that. Jojo, you can't beat it. There's no way. If you lived with your great-grandparents, this is what happened. Look at it as an example of what happens, all right? I'm taken to school, all right? Actually, preschool by my great-grandfather. And now I'm in no rush. Because I'm walking down First Street, passing Indiana, going, wow. Wow, hey, Grandpa, well, what's that? Grandpa, abuelito. What does that say, abuelito? What does that say? Mijito, when you see that right there, you look at the flowers. You look at the trees and look for birds, mijito. Look for the birds, okay? Because that, mijito, is a stop sign. Shit. I look at a stop sign and I look for birds, I look for trees. That's wisdom. That's wisdom at the highest level. If you had been given the same thing, you would be at a different consciousness. Wisdom is the key. Youth is the hope. You're the hope, okay? Wisdom is the elder, okay? Hope without wisdom is hopeless. Wisdom without hope dies. So you figure it out. How much do we need each other? Totally. And what do we do with our elders? I think Grandma should probably go to an old age home, don't you think? It's about that time. They'll take much better care of her there. We'll visit her. I don't think so. I live with all my children right now. They went to Columbia, Summa, first one through, all right? Very nice, very nice. 29 years old. What does he do after 7 years of college? He comes home. I'm home! Whoa, was that good? Yeah. Dad, you don't worry about a thing. It feels so good to be back from New York. Number 2 son, Hunter. Number 3 son, Hunter. Number 4 son, UCLA. Number 5, daughter, the youngest, 24 years old. They're from 29 to 24. They all live at home. They went off to college and they all came back. Some brought girlfriends and boyfriends back, some didn't. Some want to get married, all of them working, putting into the common good. Everybody helping. What do you need, Dad? Heavy, heavy, heavy. Where did that come from? That came from the ability to see it happen. If we continue to propagate single-family dwellings in this country, and then our art forms show the world how it is to have your own car, your own, washer and dryer, your own air conditioner. Do you imagine if China went to single-family home? What would happen to the planet? What would happen to the planet? Destruction. Just with the Chinese saying, we all want to live like they live in the United States. You'd all go, hey, you can't do that, man. You're ruining our fauna. I'm not kidding you. You would be the first ones to say, don't chop down that Brazilian rainforest. We did a hell of a job with our own. Don't you do it, though. Are you kidding, man? Monkey see, monkey do. We're in trouble. We're in trouble because we keep on propagating behavior that is not conducive for the environment and for health. So I say to you, on this illustrious day of commitment to understanding, I say to you, remember one thing. You are the hope, and you are the future. You are the reason why we'll be able to look at tomorrow. Whether you be 90 years old, 100 years old sitting in this room, or whether you be 3 or 4 or 6. Whatever age you are the reason. My commitment is to share my life with all of us. And I live on the cell phone with my children. They live at the house, I live in an airplane. And I say this because I really believe that we have the opportunity on days like this to commit ourselves and to renew our values and renew our sense of who we are. But you can't do that in this society. It's very difficult because as soon as you get up and stand up and you walk outside, you're faced with racism. You're faced with things that we know now. Come on, man. There's us, and then there's everything else. And to me, I love flowers, I love trees, I love animals, I love us, and I see us doing the worst damage to the planet. So I say to you now, the choice is yours, not mine. I've made my choices. If you want to continue to use the differences that we are in order to commit yourself to understanding who you are, you go ahead. You do that. Your children will continue to do it, and their children will continue to do it. But if you stop that, and you accept the fact that the person sitting next to you, no matter if they be black, white, brown, yellow, or red, no matter if they be tall or small, no matter if they be old or young, no matter what they are 99% exactly like you. DNA has proved it. And like I said, I am puro Chicano, split in the middle. Half European, half indigenous. My indigenousness, like I said, has been here since 40,000 years, when my direct descendants came from China, Asia, by way of Africa. When you see Edward James Olmos, I want you to remember one thing. I am African first, Asian, indigenous, mixed with my European bloods, and that's what makes me who I am. God bless you all, and thank you for having me. Goodbye, everybody.